So, hi everyone. Again, my name is Lori. I'm also from the Department of Athletics and Recreation. And I see someone else just joining us right now. So, great timing. We're just getting started for the next session. And we're going to focus on a little bit of physical activity and how it can really help you study and some of the research behind that. And what we'll do is we'll continue to use the chat as we have been doing. And just so everyone, a reminder to everyone that this session is being recorded. We would like you to, turn your camera on if you feel comfortable. We're gonna stay in this one room. We're not gonna go into any breakout rooms. So we will stay here. So let's either use the chat or feel free to speak and unmute yourself and speak up as well along the way. Okay, I'm excited. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with a presentation that I'm going to share, quick presentation. Then we're actually going to do some quick workout together. So it's not, you don't really need to change or anything like that. You can do it right where you are. And really what I want to give you is some tips of what you can do while you're studying, just for some really quick breaks to help get your brain, more alert and to really energize you a little bit more as well. So please feel free to stop along the way if you have any questions. And I'm going to start by sharing my screen. Okay, so healthy body for a healthy mind is what this presentation is called. And so what we're going to just dive into is how does physical activity help students during exams? So there's many things that we can do. And if anybody wants to speak up or actually mention anything of their own tips of what you do for physical activity as you're studying, or perhaps you don't, and that's okay to admit too. Perhaps you just say, oh, forget it, it's too much work to exercise. I really need to focus on my studies. So I'm gonna try to see if I can, see the chat at the same time. Not too successful in seeing it at the same time.
I can mention if anyone types in the chat.
So perfect, thanks, that would be helpful. Okay, so yeah, maybe you take a quick walk outside. Maybe you just get up, turn on the music and do some dancing or some stretching. But with long days of studying, especially when you're at home and maybe some dreary days like it is right now in Toronto, it's kind of raining and dreary, you tend to feel quite tired and demotivated and hard to really focus and concentrate, right? So physical activity can really energize you. And what it actually does, it's going to increase your blood flow. So if you think about just, standing up and maybe doing some arm circles, just moving around a little bit, bringing the arms in and out, squatting up and down, just actually getting up, it's all of a sudden it's going to increase the blood flow because your heart's going to beat a little bit faster. And so the blood circulation is going to start to happen, and it's going to take the blood, the oxygenated blood directly to your brain as well. And that's going to really help increase your focus, increase your concentration, increase your energy. And it also releases two types of systems in your body, one serotonin and one dopamine. So I'm not too sure if any of you have heard about these, but it's sort of like the feel good enzymes that are released when you do physical exercise. And I did a little bit more research. So I found out a little bit more what serotonin actually, 4 different ways to boost serotonin. So number one is exercise, which we did know. So what it does, it really just releases in your body and you start to feel good, you feel energized. But 3 other ways that you can, include with some exercise would be sunlight. So getting outside for a walk, getting outdoors. And there has been a lot of research that just getting outdoors into the sunshine, you get that natural vitamin D, but it also just being outdoors and being in nature can also help increase your mental health too. Another one is massage. So I know being in quarantine, it might be hard to get to a massage, you know, a personal massage, but maybe a partner or a family member or self massage. Sometimes I do hand massages or foot, you know, self foot massages, or maybe you're lucky enough to have a massager, you know, a handheld massager that you can, you know, massage your neck or lower back area. And the fourth one, this one was interesting, is remembering happy events could also help release serotonin in your body. So just, you know, maybe daydream, maybe looking at some photos of a time when you went on vacation to a nice beach or something. But that actually helps as well. So we're gonna really focus on the exercise aspect of things, but just so you know, sunlight, massage, and remembering happy events in your life, that also helps, you know, you feel good and feel re-energized, and you can do all those things in very short breaks as well. Okay. So we're going to move forward and we're going to talk about how much exercise really do we need throughout our days to really see these benefits of feeling good, of energizing ourselves, and then some of the healthy benefits for our bodies as well. Oops. Okay, so the Canadian Society of Exercise Prescription, so that's that CSEP acronym there, they recommend only 2.5 hours per week of moderate to vigorous exercise. Okay, so 2.5 hours. What can we do in 2.5 hours? Well, we can spend probably way more than that on Netflix, which I have been doing quite often lately. So you could, you know, 2.5 hours could be a studying time, right? It could be a Zoom call to some friends. It could be playing Among Us. So 2.5 hours, it's not really that much. And it really, you know, the CSEP has done a lot of research to prove that only, you know, working out 150 minutes per week really helps with this as well, really helps with these health benefits. And the really cool thing about the research that it has shown is you can even break it down to 10-minute segments throughout your week. So if you think of a study break, 10-minute study break is that sort of magic number that you can do to really see some of these benefits. So I'm going to give you some ideas of what can we do in 10-minute increments, you know, as you study, you know, throughout your exams or even after your exams as well, and try to accumulate 150 minutes throughout your week if you can. And when I mentioned moderate to vigorous exercise, so you know, if you think about going for a stroll with a cup of coffee in the park, so that wouldn't be moderate to vigorous. That's more of a little bit too low of an intensity to really, you know, reap those benefits. I'm not saying that's a bad thing to do. Do that as well, because getting out of nature, you know, with a warm drink is also great for your mind. A nice break as well. But more for the moderate to vigorous, it's like riding a bike. It's like a light jog to a run. It could be a dance party in your living room. It could be doing some burpees, jumping jacks, skipping. So that, swimming as well. I know we can't get to pools quite right now. But there are some, you know, great ideas that I'm going to also share with you how to reach that intensity level that you need. And on top of that, you should be doing some sort of strength exercise as well. I just heard on the news the other day that during the quarantine, most people are starting to gain a little weight because they're not exercising as much, and probably they're not following Ramona's advice of eating all the healthy snacks, probably eating a little bit more unhealthy snacks. So strength exercise actually helps boost your metabolism. So, and it decreases that soreness. You might feel, you know, back stiffness or, you know, from not having strong core muscles. And so strength, the more muscle you have in your body, the higher metabolism you will have. And then the better posture you will have to help reduce those sore muscles as well. Okay. So in strength exercises, you know, just a couple days a week, incorporate some strength exercises. And this could be body weight exercises. This could be lifting, maybe some laundry detergent jugs, getting creative in your house if you don't have weights or access to weights right now. But body weight exercises is fine right now as well to see those benefits. And also, you know, any amount of physical activity will do some good. So try to stick to those 150 minutes a week if you can, only 2.5 hours, but really doing something is better than doing nothing. Okay.
Oh, Ramona said that body weight exercise is awesome.
Yay. Okay. Yes. Body weight exercise is awesome. And there are so many you can do. My daughter right now, she's doing handstands. She's on a handstand kick. She's probably upside down, you know, about 3 hours a day at school recess in her living room all the time. But yeah, maybe try a handstand against your wall. But I'll show you some easier ones that we can start with as well in a few minutes.
She said that you can drag your siblings around or give each other piggyback rides.
Piggyback fights. If you have a family of 4 or some housemates, yeah, piggybacks, wheelbarrows, absolutely make it fun. It's so important to make things fun these days. So this is great. Okay, thanks for the chat. Okay, so because of COVID, and we talked a little bit about you know, what we can do in our own spaces right now. And we do know that all of these restrictions because of COVID are affecting our physical, not only physical, but also our mental health. So, you know, by exercising or doing these fun activities with friends, and maybe you could call someone on a Zoom call and say, let's have a break together. And you could do a Zoom call break with someone, put on your favorite music, maybe each pick a song, and you just do a freestyle crazy dance in your living rooms, cameras on, of course. But you know, something like that. And if you include maybe a housemate or even a computer mate, then you know you're a little bit more accountable for sticking to those 10 minutes and timing it out as well. So I noticed a couple of people were just joining us, so welcome. We're just going over the CSEP guidelines, which is the Canadian Society of Exercise Prescription. And just to remind you that it's 2.5 hours per week is what our goal is of moderate to vigorous exercise, okay? So also, you know, getting outdoors, I mentioned this earlier, and eating healthy as well. So Ramona just had a session, and you know, she has some great handouts that she can share with you all about some great healthy snacks to have throughout your day as well. Okay. All right, so now we're going to actually hop into some of these exercises. So I'm going to just stop sharing, and I'm going to see if you can stand. I'll try to make the background a little festive here. Okay, so we're going to start with some cardio type exercises to start. I'm going to try to back up as much as I can. So I mentioned, you know, jumping jacks is something you can do to get your heart rate up. And it's so easy to do. I would say recommend definitely putting on some shoes, doing it in bare feet, dancing, skipping. So I do have a skipping rope downstairs that I use, and I have a punching bag as well. So sometimes go down there and do some circuit. So some skipping, try to do some tricks.
You have a punching bag, Lori?
I have a punching bag.
What?
Yes. But even if you don't have a punching bag, you know, you can, well, we actually have a stream of boxing and kickboxing that we're releasing for free through our department. So Heather is one of our boxers, but you can do some punching combinations for some cardio. Oh yeah, see, Ramona and I right now, you can do it with a friend. Pretend we're fighting. I don't know if this is the right way on Zoom, if I'm getting it or not.
I'll go this way.
But yeah, have some fun with some people, right? Put on some music, have some fun. It's a great time. You know, I really like to work on agility. I come from a sport background too, and Ramona and I sometimes work with our sports teams when they're up and running at the Toronto Pan Am Sports Center, and we do a lot of agility work. So I'm going to try to show my feet here a little bit. Hope this works. Okay, so agility work could just be going in and out. So quick feet movements, something like this. And moving one side, side shuffles to the other side. I love that Ramona's doing this with me. And I'm just gonna assume that everyone else is doing this with me too. And maybe coming forward, back to the center, right? And even some jumps in and out. Hopping, side hopping. It's really good to strengthen those stability muscles in the knee and the ankle. One of my favorite is a side.
Oh, the skater drill.
And this sort of reminds me of a speed skater, back and forth. And you get a bit of a squat in that as well. Okay, so those are some great cardio-based exercises, and that's gonna really help increase your heart rate. And as I mentioned, only 10-minute bouts throughout your week. Try to include 150 minutes altogether of those types of exercises. Then next, we're gonna move into some strength. So strength-based using your body weight. If you have a chair around that you're sitting on, make sure that it's stable, it's pushed up against something. You could come down and do chair push-ups. Okay, and that's a good start. And you can, once you progress from the chair, you can move down to the floor, do some floor push-ups, starting on your knees and then going to your toes. Okay, and for the lower body, you could do lunges. So let me see if you can see me okay here. Putting one foot in front of the other, body nice and tall, and you're going to come down to a lunge. And back up. And there's a lot of different variations with the lunge that you can have fun with. So you can do one leg at a time lunge. You could hold something in your arms and do some body weight lunges. You could do a twist when you lunge, and that will confuse the core muscles and help increase your balance as well. The nice thing about lunges and squats is it is hitting some major lower body muscles. So it's hitting the quads, the hamstrings, the glutes, and incorporating on engaging your core muscles as well. Okay. So there's a couple of strength exercises. And there's many more strength exercises. If you go to our website, we do offer some strength classes through our group fitness classes as well. And I'm going to give you a resource. If you want more of a personalized workout, you can talk to Ramona and I about that too. The last component I quickly wanted to mention is our flexibility. So we have endurance, strength, and flexibility. So flexibility would include just standing up and stretching out those sit muscles. So when we're sitting for long periods of time, we're usually, leaning forward, something like this, where our chest muscles and shoulder muscles are going to get really tight. So ensuring that you're stretching out your chest muscles, bring the arms back. You can do this if you like. You could do this sitting or standing. I really like to incorporate more dynamic type stretching, especially if you're sitting and just want a really quick break. So dynamic stretching would be stretching within movement. So you're sort of increasing the circulation while you're going through a range of motion in the muscle areas. So this is a good one for the upper back and for the chest. Shoulder rotations are good as well. And here you can really increase that blood flow to your brain. Stretch out your fingertips if you're writing or typing a lot. I know Ramona does this a lot in her yoga classes. Really important to stretch out, the thumb included, both ways. And you can do this up against the wall or against the floor as well. And other sit muscles that are really important to stretch out are the hips. So we were doing some lunges for our strength, but I'm just going to show you a hip stretch as well. So you're going to push that pelvis forward and the back knees coming down. So here is where you should be feeling it. And this time, instead of coming up and down, you're just going to hold it. And to exaggerate that stretch, you can also lift that arm up and hold for about 30 seconds or so.
I have my lazy hip flexor stretch. So I have like a box, but you could use a chair and literally step on it. That's my lazy stretch, but
Love
it's good as well.
So great variations.
Yeah.
I also, I found a new stretch I'm really enjoying. So I tend to get tight right in that deep psoas muscle above the hip. So I come down on one knee and
yeah,
and I come up and
that's a good
over.
one.
So it does get that deep psoas muscle just above the hip.
And you can
And
like
also the core
rotate
muscles on
too.
each side.
So I'll do it on the
And you would
box.
do that, of course, on the other side as well.
Play with it. It's nice. It's a good one.
Excellent. And I'm seeing that we actually have only a minute left. So I wanted to open it up. So that one thing I wanted to mention to everyone is we do have some resources on our website. And Ramona and I also do individual lifestyle consultations. So these are free for all students. And you can email Ramona. She did drop her email just earlier in the chat. And we can set up a one-on-one virtual consultation with you, either Ramona or myself or some of our personal trainers that work with us. And we'd be happy to hear, how things are going and to help you set up a weekly program for yourself on exercise too.
I actually have a handout that I written on a bunch of stretches you could do for sitting all day. So if you email me that and requesting it, I could forward that to you too.
Amazing. Okay, and if you drop by our website too, we offer a lot of virtual classes, dance classes, martial arts classes, group fitness classes. We have game nights as well, and some great tips just on how to de-stress and how to stay active throughout this time as well. So thanks everyone. Really excited to see so many students taking part in Exam Jam. That's great. Good luck on all your exams. And feel free to reach out to myself or Ramona. I'll also drop my email here. Feel free to reach out to us. If you have any last questions, feel free to ask, okay?